Hello, my name is Becca or Bex. So this is my knitting YouTube. I hope you had a good week. So I'm going to be trying a new pattern. It's called the basket weave stitch. I'm going to be stitching on or casting on roughly 42 cast on stitches due to it needs to be in a pattern of 6. So for that reason, that's what I will be doing. Let me just count it out really quick. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 8, 9, 30, 32. Okay. Let me double check that. 32. Perfect. 32. 10 more to go. Alright, perfect. So, throughout this, I'm going to be learning how to do this new stitch. So, if you want to sit down, get ready with your projects as well, and we can knit along and do stuff together. So, like I said in the last video, I learned because I was inspired by my family, my mom, my grandma, and my great grandma on my mother's side. They all knew some sort of yarn work, and for that reason, I kind of wanted to get into it too, but because none of them really had time to sit down and actually teach me, I went and actually went to a yarn shop and asked to learn how to knit. For some reason, I find it easier with 2 needles instead of just 1. That's just me. Compared to some people who enjoy just crochet, and that's just with 1. So I knew how to knit for about 3 or 4 years now, so since roughly 2017, 18, 19, 20, yeah, 4 or 5 years now. So, I just want to now kind of get myself better at doing harder stuff, and reading patterns. And YouTube is going to kind of be my thing to kind of kick me in the butt to actually get this going. So yeah. So let me just see. Oh, I'm going to be using this type of yarn. It's from Michaels. I don't really remember what the name of it is because I think I threw out the actual wrapping that it came with. My bad. So I'm kind of thinking about some of the enlightened reflections that I did when I was knitting, and I noticed that on a good day when I'm knitting, I can, at least like a year or two ago, prior to COVID, I was able to sit down for 30 minutes to an hour almost daily to knit, and that was at least back in 2019. Going into maybe 2020 or early 2020, especially pre-COVID. Prior to COVID, I was so busy with work. So busy. Because I helped out with marching band, I helped out with doing my own ASL group and stuff like that. So, almost on the daily, I tried at least to get some knitting in, even if it was 15 minutes at that point. But then once 2020 rolled around, I had obviously more time. So now I'm kind of used to multitasking, like watching TV and knitting, listening to music, or listening to an audiobook. I can't really read and knit at the same time, only if it was just a pattern. I can do that, but it's a pattern, so I'm pausing at the points where I need to. I also noticed coming to stressful situations and not having a plan, knitting typically helps me kind of relieve some stress, you know? For you crocheters and knitters and other yarn crafts, I want to hear from you guys on what your feelings are behind knitting and crochet, especially when it comes to being nervous about something, whether it's an interview, maybe a stressful situation with work, or a meeting with a job. Maybe having this hobby can help you get your ideas out and for you to come before or even after the meeting or the interview happens. Let me know in the comments how yarn craft has actually helped you. I've also noticed that when I knit, um, it actually helps me be more active in my community. I've said this before in my first video that I wanted it to be more of an active thing in my community. I'm able to bring this out into the community, whether it's at Starbucks, a coffee shop, a what do you call it? If I'm going to the city for something, especially prior to COVID, if I'm um, if I bring it while I'm at work, etc. People come up to me and talk to me about it because they're curious. And it kind of gets people like really interested, and they bring up like their family who try to teach them and stuff like that. Also, I find it that it's a form of meditation. I've noticed that in a lot of videos when I was doing research about knitting, they say that it's a form of meditation because you're counting out the numbers that you're knitting if you have a certain pattern. You're counting, you're kind of focused on one thing, and you're being mindful on one thing, not thinking about the 20 other things that you have to do. So I find that a little bit helpful. I find that again it enhances conversation. In not even 2 days, sorry, in one day, um two people came up to me and was like, "Oh my gosh, I knit too. I know how to knit. What are you making?" And we would go into discussions about favorite yarn, favorite colors to work with, um, what brands they like, where they learned, etc. Which I find very interesting. What I noticed when it comes to knitting, it kind of have any of you guys heard of ASMR? For me, when I hear it, I'm not a big fan. But when I knit, I feels like it's a tactile ASMR, if that makes sense, because it makes your fingers tingle. That's at least for me. So what I'm making right now is a basket weave stitch. I'm trying to make it as a scarf. So it's just a fun um, what do you call it, stitch just to learn, because again, I want to kind of get myself. Hold on, I feel a sneeze coming on. Excuse me. I kind of want to get myself in the habit of challenging myself. I typically don't like challenging myself. I'm afraid of change. I don't like huge challenges. If I'm good at one thing, I stick to one thing type of thing. So like this has been a New Year's resolution for years to try new things, to break out of my comfort zone, even if it's something simple like learning a new project on knitting. So, to me, that counts. So, since it's October, are there any of you guys planning on dressing up? I would love to know what your costumes are going to be. If you want to, you can comment below and inform me what you're planning to be. For the most part, what I noticed when I'm knitting, it comes out the way I planned, but I have to start it again multiple times. Like, literally just before I realized that I messed up, so I had to restart everything, re-record, so that was fun. Also, when it comes to knitting, I noticed that it helps ease my mind and unwind, especially just before bed. I always have, like, excuse me, what ifs, or I should have said something different, or what if I did this thing instead of that thing. It typically helps my brain unwind. I kind of like to say life is a bunch of projects. Some are harder, some are easier. Some are scarves with just a knit stitch across. Some projects have slip slip knit. Some projects have decreases and increases. And that's just like life. We all have easy challenges, we have medium challenges, and hard challenges. So we just have to take it with a lot of patience. And if you need to restart or try again, that is definitely necessary. And also, reaching out for help is very important. Always reaching out for help, no matter what project or what thing you're working on. So, just like my brain saying, what if I said something wrong? I should reach out and say, hey, I'm so sorry if I said something wrong. Can you please let me know if I said something wrong? And then most likely my friends or family are like, you didn't say anything bad or wrong, you're fine. so that actually helps me calm down a little bit, and having knitting with me typically helps ease my mind with that. All right. So in my pattern, it asks for us to do one row of knit across, one row of purl across. I'm going to now do knit 1, purl 4, knit 1. This is where I messed up. So I need to try to be a little bit more focused with this one. So knit 1, purl 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Knit 1. I really wish you guys saw my face when I realized I messed up. I was like, fuck. Excuse my French. Alright. It's 2, 1 knit. So what do you guys find challenging when it comes to fiber craft? I just, for some reason, I can't sit and follow a pattern for too long. That's just me. Well, partially because of that, I have ADHD. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. With ADHD, sometimes it's hard for you to sit and follow one pattern for a long time. And that's what I actually see in myself a lot. But I just have to sit and do it and remind myself, take it slow. It doesn't matter if you're taking it at your own pace. It's okay. It's not a race to finish. It's not like we're in the in the heavy metal knitting competitions or anything like that. So it should be fine. So just did that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm planning on in the future to actually make my boyfriend a scarf that has the Giants colors in it. I already started it not too long ago, so I have time. It's October, so I have a couple months to get it done. Two. See, I just caught myself. I realized I needed to do 4 pearls, not just 2 pearls. Got that mixed up a little bit. Now, 2 knits. 1, 2. What are you guys making for your significant others or your family members for the holidays? Whether it's Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Yule, etc. Any other holidays that are outside of my knowledge? Let me know what they are in the comment section, as well as what holiday presents are you giving that are yarn or knitting related. See, I made this right too. 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 18, 20. Oh my gosh, guess what? I ended up making an extra knit stitch. I ended up making an extra knit stitch. Alright, so again, as I told you guys, knitting is a process. Knitting, you have to work on it, take your time, take it slow. Definitely, this has been a lesson learned, and I will continue to practice this and continue to count. So it's getting to about the 20-minute mark. So I really hope you guys enjoy this video of seeing me mess up and realize it and having this conversation. Hopefully by next time I will be able to show you the finished product of this. Maybe I'll post it on my Instagram, maybe post it on TikTok, either or. But I hope to see you guys soon, and I'll definitely maybe come back and show you more of this, alright? Talk to you soon. Bye.